This evening, we had a great chance to be on the local buzz this afternoon, and once we get that queued up, what we're going to do is we're going to go to that and deal with that discussion. Had some phone calls come in from the community about the issue that Caleb brought up this past Sunday evening on what does the Bible say about the possibility of getting a casino in Danville, Virginia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Caleb showed some statistical evidence, economical evidence from Sunday night's program, and we want to deal some more with that this evening. He also, towards the end of the broadcast, dealt with what the Bible has to say about it, which we've touched on that on other shows as well. I know in the past, Martinsville was trying to get internet gaming, I believe here, the sweepstakes in Martinsville, Virginia. Dad and some other brethren went to the city council meeting here in Martinsville so as to have them to reconsider that, in fact, these things are not going to be beneficial. Whatever promises that these companies are making towards, city council, local government, saying, well, this is what we'll be able to do, this is, what we'll be able to offer. We're going to view some things a little bit later on this evening after we let the interview discussion this afternoon on the Buzz play, and we'll come back to me and we'll look some more at these statistical points. So stick with us, enjoy this discussion, and then I'll be back on a little bit later.
At Carpetland USA.
Your phone there, Austin. Okay. It's actually right there in that bag right there. Yep. But what we're talking casinos, and what we'll do is let me take a few phone calls about casinos real quick, and we'll get you mic'd up. I apologize for that. All these computers excite us over here, don't they? They do. Y'all got to deal with us dealing with these computers forever. All right, 656-2255 is the number. We're taking your live calls and casinos. Now, I've told you that when it comes to casinos, for me, I think I see a positive to this casinos that maybe not everybody does. And when I go in there, I know that the house is against me. And that's why I don't play much. Mm-hmm. But I do like the excitement that the casino brings, no matter where I've been. I've actually went down to the one down at the Indian Reserve down in North Carolina, and they actually have horrors. They actually run it, but the casino, the Indians get the profits, mm-hmm. And I think horrors gets paid to run it. Tell me when we got sound, guys. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, what do you think about casinos?
I'm going to tell you, we don't need that down here in Danville. I'm about, I'd say about a 20 or 25 minutes drive to Danville. The reason I'm saying this is I knew a lady a while back here got robbed. They was watching her, and when she won that money, before she could get back home, somebody took her life.
Now, one of the things that I will kind of.
What's that?
One of the things I will kind of spotlight is that when they said, when they had the off-track betting when it first came to Martinsville, some of the anti-people said that it was going to bring a crime element and all this, and
Well, that's true, Charles.
But it's not true. I don't. We have off-track.
Things I might disagree with him on, but I just have to agree with him on that right there. We don't need that in Danville, and we don't need it in Marlboro, nowhere in this area. They cut it out down in Carolina, a little place right across the line that they had to cut it out because it's getting out of hand.
Now, how's it getting out of hand?
Yeah, people was going there shooting and robbing and doing everything.
Wait a minute, I don't remember any crime reports anybody getting shot or robbed. So let's not know.
I have them all here.
Oh, you got them. Okay.
Well, right. you keep it up for a while, and you'll find out. Or you
all right. Now, we have off-track betting right now in Martinsville. We have it right at the Dutch Inn. You know that, don't you?
Did they move to the Dutch Inn?
Yeah, they moved it to the Dutch Inn.
So it's not out there.
I'm particular on that crime
Cross
rate.
Point.
I just have to go along with them. I'm sorry about that, and you have a good day.
All right. Well, Cross Point is where they used to have the off-track betting, and they closed it down for several years because there was a disagreement with the New Kent track or something. Mm-hmm. But then they have brought it back. It's back at the Dutch Inn.
Now, didn't you just cover a crime at the Dutch Inn? Wasn't there a stabbing at the Dutch Inn not too long ago?
There was, what was that? Yeah, it was stabbing.
So
it didn't turn out to be that.
Okay. But before they had it, they've had some problems up there too. Okay, I mean, just for the record, I mean, they, it is a bar, and there's sometimes some issues there at the bar. But anyway,
So gambling and drinking together.
I want to make sure we can hear you. Can we hear Micah now?
Testing, hear me back there? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And,
All right, tell me your position.
All right, well, like he was arguing from the News and Record, and a lot of the things that people will discuss is, well, Atlantic City, that's away from here. Las Vegas is away from here. It's not really things that we are associated with. Mm-hmm. But I went on the News and Record, and at least close to once a month last year, there was a shooting or some type of robbery at a sweepstakes in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. From 2017 through 2018, at least once a month, a sweepstakes was in the newspaper. It was
From a biblical standpoint, what is? Because I mean that's kind of what y'all based from. From a biblical standpoint, what is it biblically that's wrong with a casino?
Well, it's not just a biblical standpoint; it's an economical, standpoint as well. It's not going to help, but biblically, it's the base. It's the golden rule.
It helps the tax
Matthew
base.
7:12. Who says?
I know. Even
I have evidence.
This off-track betting can put some local taxes in here, like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, I have evidence from the former city commissioner of Atlantic City of him saying that in fact it did not help.
Right.
That
The city of Eden. You remember when the DA wanted to shut it down? The city of Eden asked if they could keep them open for several months more, so they could make their budget. Remember that?
Yeah, and I.
I mean, so there's money can be made with the localities, even like with sweepstakes.
Well, but there again, it only goes to those that are able to be benefited from it. Atlantic City, 6 of its mayors were arrested because of corruption. So who is it that's actually benefiting? Is it everybody, or is it just a select few?
Well, I think like in Eden, because if I remember, it was in the $200,000 range.
Well,
I'm gonna ask y'all. I can't talk and do a show when everybody's talking in the background.
But who really? I mean, you go through the city of Eden. Where's that money going?
Well, it went to their budget. $200,000 is not it's not Trump change.
Okay, but what did it improve though? I haven't seen any improvements really in the city of Eden.
Well,
you still got.
Yeah, but Eden has had to fight losing Miller Brewery and all kinds of things. The EPA trying to shut down the water system. I mean, so they've had a lot of different issues. That $200,000 probably helped them, well, a little bit. I mean, $200,000 is not bad.
Well, if I could find that in the report somewhere, but I'm actually getting local reports, and see, that's the thing about it. One of the pulls about the casino is, well, it'll generate revenue for the city, but in fact, I'm in contact with individuals in the city of Eden, and they are losing business because people are spending the money they would give to them at the sweepstakes.
What's your proof on that?
We have a friend. We have a friend in Eden. He's in the glass business. He puts in windshields. And in the past 2 months, he's had at least 3 to 4 people call him up and have to decline, back out of their agreement because they went and blew their money at the sweepstakes. So he doesn't get that money.
Or could that be an excuse?
But the sweepstakes does get it. And I'm saying, and even with Atlantic City, that's what they're saying about Atlantic City. The money stays in the casinos. Their natural, I would say natural resources, but like their local businesses, 40% of their restaurants
Now,
went
I know
out
one
of
reason
business.
they would look at Danville is because they could get North Carolina customers. So that is an economic development tool to bring people to the town.
But I'm saying the evidences are not there except for one anomaly.
Well, like if Greensboro doesn't have a casino and Danville does, guess where they're going?
But I'm saying, you're saying that there's going to come here, and that's what the casino people say. But
No, that's what I would say.
But the city of Danville is not going to see a dime of it. Is what I'm presenting.
They're going to get some tax structure from it, I guarantee it.
No, not the entire city. A few individuals might.
No, but usually with these deals, there's locality taxes.
I've seen the report about the tax revenue, about 12.5 million.
That's kind of exciting about it.
Okay, but I'm saying it's not going to happen, and you can see that with places like Atlantic City.
All right, but and then there's other folks that would say, Micah, now come on, we're not really, our communities don't have that many lures, that many things, not every town's got a Martinsville Speedway or Philpott Lake or something like that. Every town needs kind of a gimmick, something to draw folks. And a casino or off-track betting, can lure people. I can tell you that we had a lot of out-of-town people come to the cinema, and they told me that they had a chance to go up to the Dutch Inn to that off-track betting facility.
But I've also heard you complain about the race issues in Danville, how that's actually not going to draw anybody.
What now?
The race issues that are going on, like race, black-white issue. You're saying that a casino is going to fix that? Like just all of a sudden that's going to bring in business?
It can be a draw for economic development. It can be or bring in tourism.
I mean, who's going to come to Danville to gamble.
If you can't gamble in North Carolina, you come to Danville. That's the way it works.
And that's what I'm saying. The issue, see, the draw's not even there in North Carolina. There's your test example right there. North Carolina has the sweepstakes, and yet that's not a draw. Why would we have to try to draw them to Danville if they've already have gambling in North Carolina?
Well, the casino would be more exciting.
I mean, how so?
More lights, more glitter. Have you been down the one at Cherokee?
No, I don't go near the casinos.
It's exciting. It's exciting, man. I mean, you know, not everybody is in the Bible all the time.
But even there, but even there, the glitz and glamour. You go a block away from the glitz and glamour, Atlantic City, and even Las Vegas. You go a block off the Strip. How glitzy, how glamorous is it? It's run down. People come to the Strip, and that's the only reason why Las Vegas is able to survive, is because they're not pulling off of their local community for survival.
The whole town is built off of gambling. A million population.
But it's a tourist. They're pulling people in.
It,
Danville's not going to be able to do that.
But Las Vegas, it has about 1 million population and based around the casino industry.
Right, but that's all tourism.
Yeah, but the jobs come from the casinos.
But the only reason why, but I'm saying, Charles.
Have you ever been to a casino?
No, but I'm saying.
No, then
I'm saying Las Vegas. Las Vegas is the only one exception of all the casinos throughout the United States. If it really was that effective, how come more people aren't doing it? How come more states haven't done it?
Well, it's becoming more attractive. I mean, the Indian tribes and all of them are taking advantage of it because they can get away with doing it.
Well, it's just because there's more leeway for them than there would be for
and
white
up to
Americans.
this point, there's been laws and stuff to prohibit it.
Right. And I would say rightfully so, because they know the vices of it.
Well, but I think Vegas is pretty successful.
But they are the only one. I mean, you're looking at one example out of the host of casinos that are built.
Yeah.
And that one is able to thrive because it's got a rare business model. Atlantic City was not able to duplicate Las Vegas's model. And you've got casinos closing in Atlantic City.
Right.
One casino was actually bankrupt before they even started building.
Yeah.
And the state of New Jersey had to give them a $26 million tax break
All right.
so as to build the casino.
Let's see. Let's open phone lines and see who agrees, who doesn't. It looks like you're getting some agreement from some of your critics on this one. All right, you guys. Remember, we're doing a TV show. Hello, you on the air?
Well, good evening, Charles.
All right. What's your opinion to Micah?
Well, it's going to be up to the city council of Danville, but most likely, I hope we get it because probably it'll get more people here. But
Probably.
That's the bottom line. It's up to the city council of Danville.
You'll have a place to take your lady friends, right?
Yeah.
And you see, that's part of it.
Yeah,
How much
wanna go.
depravity are we going to allow to go?
Me, I'll probably visit.
Right.
There's something to do, Charles.
Something to do. So he's saying he wants something to do.
Something more to do.
All right, if he just wants to throw away money, give it to me.
I gotta keep this PG, but not the way I want to. But you know, I got to behave.
All right, if that's what he's wanting to do, just
Hey, you know
Micah
what I'm
says
gonna
if you
say,
want-
but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Micah says if you want to give money away, he'll take it.
No, thank you. I know where I'm putting my money. I invested in good things, not in what I want to. I mean, I'm not investing it into a church. I'm putting it into what I want to. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. You're on the air. We're talking casino. Micah.
I'm gonna tell you one thing too. I've got confirmation there will be more federal indictments coming out in relation to
Right now,
that already came out.
Right now,
in the federal court.
we got Micah Robertson on talking about casinos right now.
Okay. I meant to tell you. I'm sorry. I'll let you go. Bye bye.
656-2255 there.
And you know, Charles, you brought up a moment ago about other churches. You know, where are the other churches?
Yeah, where are
the funny thing about it is you have one associate pastor, and I can't remember Alonzo Jones's position there at Bible Way, but there are two Bible Way high-ranking members on city council.
Right.
Board of Trustees, and
They're
Alonzo.
going to roll the dice.
Now, Larry Campbell hasn't come out. We haven't found a statement from Larry Campbell as of yet.
Right.
But it's just, we're looking at it from that very standpoint in which the caller said it's up to City Council. From what I read in the Star Tribune, it's actually going to be up to a vote of the people. Mm-hmm. They're going to meet tomorrow to consider, are we going to look into this? But then after that, it's
Are
actually
you
going
going
to
to
be...
show up to the meeting?
I don't know if I will, but, I mean, we're trying to play
I
our
can't believe
avenues.
you're not going to show up to the meeting, man.
Yeah, I'm not a Danville resident, so...
Yeah, but you're an activist
But
preacher.
and I would say that more
Come
until
on, man. I thought it was about showing up.
Well, there's a Thursday night program as well at 8 o'clock. The meeting's at 7.
Okay. Well,
And so, but I would say that this is going to affect Martinsville
speaking
as well.
out. One thing I've learned: if you believe something, you got to speak out.
Well, that's what we're trying to get the citizens of Martinsville to get involved in it too, because within a 50-mile radius, the effects are felt from a casino, and that's by government research.
All right, but casinos can have some interesting effects too, though.
Like increase in individual bankruptcy within the 50-mile. I'm serious, Charles.
Smack.
I'm telling you, the research is out there. Within 4 years of a casino being built in 5 different locations, the individual bankruptcy rose above 10%. Now, there was one place, and I see this is the thing about the anomaly.
How about people being able to control, people being able to control their own budgets?
Well, and you got people that are not going to make wise decisions, and if that's how we're playing this, then okay, with prostitution. So let's just make prostitution a thing of self-control then.
But my point is that we have to create laws and protect people from their.
Well, they had to make laws to create, to protect people from prostitution. Let's just get rid of those laws and make it a thing of self-control. If you can't, control yourself with prostitution, then don't do it.
Very hard to regulate prostitution, though.
Well, I'd say it's very hard to regulate this, but it needs to be done.
All right. 656-2255, your opinion. Give us a ring here. Micah is armed with the facts to keep out a casino in his mind. 656-2255, what do you think? Give us a ring. How active are y'all going to get in this?
I mean, it's like I said, I'm not wanting to give too much away because I'm sure that if we were to try to show up tomorrow, they'd try to kick us out.
Well, that's one reason to go.
Well, and that's why I'm not saying if we're going or not. Because I don't want to give them the heads up, and let them cut us off at the pass. But
they can't. If you go to city council, they have to at least let you go.
No, Dad went to, where was that? You went to city council. Was it in Chatham? He went supervisor's meeting. They booted him out at the very start.
Well, I mean, if they booted you out, then we got a story. Really? So 656-2255.
But we would like to at least get in and get something said before they, removed us.
Yeah. Are you going to challenge Alfonso up to his face? Saying, look, you're one side you're religious and one side.
I don't know necessarily. I mean, and then that's judgment call on whoever decides to do it. My position on it is they are being hustled, just like the person who would go into the casino. It's all this glitz, glamour, big promises that aren't going to be kept.
Hello, you're on the air.
Where did you get this idiot from? The churches is the ones.
Now be nice.
Rip off, not the casino.
All right, but you're not being too nice.
Not being too nice?
No, I mean he's got an opinion. He wants to state it. So what's wrong with that?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with him stating an opinion. I just said he's an idiot.
Based upon what?
You drive down 58. Every 2 miles is a church.
All right, what's your point, though? I mean,
I'm in a casino.
He's just saying that he doesn't agree with casinos.
Well, I think I see what she's saying as well, and we speak out against the churches.
I don't think he agrees with anything unless you're putting money in his pocket.
No, we're not taking money from anybody. We are actually trying to fight so as to keep your money in your pocket, and that goes for the churches as well. We are fighting against them, and they're double dipping with their pastor and co-pastor and their wife being a pastor.
Oh, they're going to say the churches don't want them to cut into the tithes.
But I'm saying that's the same. That's basically the casino game. That's the casino game right there in churches.
I've been to the casino in North Carolina. I have been to Vegas, and it's all about self-control. And there's nothing whatsoever wrong with a casino.
Within a 50-mile radius, the problematic gambling, the calls that come in to those call-in stations about trouble gambling and problematic abusive gambling, all of that rises within a 50-mile radius.
All right. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Yeah, Charles. The way I look at it, I don't see where a casino is going to help Danville at all. The simple fact is, you got all these gang members running around down there. Danville's full of high crime. I mean, they're robbing people. They're doing the whole 9 yards down there. The way I look at it, you put a casino in down there, people are going to be getting robbed. It's probably going to try to be getting held up or something. I mean, it's people that win money, it come out. People's going to be watching people like that. I mean, let's face it, Danville's in bad shape right now, and really, I don't see where.
That might be an argument you can throw to the council. It's like we already got.
And definitely that is the thing.
Yeah.
You've already got this crime, and with eight
Yeah, I mean,
cities.
the crime's outrageous in Danville, and that's going to do nothing but make it even worse, if you ask me.
8 cities that
That's
built
my
new
opinion.
casinos within 4 years, the crime rate went up. Larceny, alcohol abuse, sexual offenses, all that type of stuff, drug use, it all went up.
Right. All right, I'm sorry. Hello, you on the air? You're on the air, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a really bad idea. I can see it from both sides, but I think it's a bad idea because it's just giving people something else to get addicted to. If they're trying to get, you know what I'm saying? It's going to give them something else to get addicted to when their money can be spent on their families and something better other than throwing it away. And I think that's the bad side effect of it. People will get addicted to gambling, and it could get pretty bad for families.
All right. Okay. Looks like you're...
And for these people that are calling in and saying that they agree that it is a bad idea, I would encourage them to go online to the City of Danville website and contact the City Council and just let them know that from the citizens of Martinsville, we're not wanting this because it is going to affect us. It's going to ripple, and it's not going to be a good thing.
Right. No, but I hear all the ripple. But the off parlor betting that's going on at that gym, I don't hear of any problems.
But that's not the same as bringing in this this casino setting, and even with how they're going to set up the the casino, they make these promises about money's going to go out. But even in looking at, I've seen different blueprints of these casinos and different things from the reports that I'm reading. The design is like a maze. And you said you've been in the casinos. Is it hard to get out of a casino? It's designed to keep you in. And that's what they're going to do with the money. The money is designed to stay in the casino. It's not designed to go out.
All right, but you have to admit it, you've never been to a casino.
But I'm saying
And there's other things.
But see, I don't have to go into something to be able to say, well, I know this about it. In fact, when there's reports and different things about
Hello?
Hey,
Yes.
what about bingo night at the church? Is that wrong?
it definitely is, yeah. Bingo is gambling.
Is it?
It is.
But you're gambling for the Lord.
Well, that doesn't make it right.
That doesn't make it right.
No,
Well,
it doesn't.
if you're doing it for God, aren't you doing it for the good of people?
No, you can't take something that's bad and then try to turn it into something that's good.
Oh, all right.
And we don't do that. We
People
don't do
oughta-
raffle tickets. We don't
I'm
do that.
for liberty, and
No, I'm saying the people have the
for
right to do
people
it, but they need to be
make-
told about what's
for
right and what's
the
wrong.
adults to be able to choose what they want to do. There are a lot of bad things people do.
And I
should
agree,
be
people
doing.
have the choice,
Not,
but
not, it's not up to you to go along and figure that out.
Well, he can speak out. He can speak out against it if he wants to. Come on.
Yeah, do what you want. Speak out what you want, but bingo night at the church. Let's go. Gamble for God.
see, that's just the very thing of it, and that's the very problem that we're facing.
Yeah.
Those that are supposed to be the moral compass in churches, what are they actually doing? They're mingling worldliness into the churches, and that's hurting more than than anything.
Yeah, I think they ought to get rid of churches. Then that's just terrible.
Well, denominations, I agree, but the one true church, it can stand and will continue to stand up and fight against these immoral activities.
Oh, okay. Well, there are a lot of you got your work cut out for you there, buddy.
Well,
Go out and fight all the immoralness going on around the world. That's a lot of it going on.
somebody's got to do
And
it.
maybe before you pull the splinter out of somebody else's eye, you ought to pull a board that's hanging out of your own. Isn't that what the Bible says? And
Well,
the Bible says. The Bible says that, doesn't it?
All right, man. All right, we're out of time. Mr. Sarcastic Man getting in the last word. I'll let you have the last word. Go ahead.
Just the citizens of Martinsville, now they're becoming aware of it. Reach out to City Council, let them know that you're not wanting this. And in fact, it does come down to a vote of the people. They make the decision of whether we're going to look into it, but according to what the newspaper's saying, it will come down to a vote of the people. So the people need to speak up.
All right. Again, we'll keep watching this one. And it's the City Council meeting tomorrow night about it?
Tomorrow, 7,
All right. Let's see what happens.
and we go on at 8.
All right. So anyway, we'll keep up on this one. We'll be right back.
we're back here this evening, and again, we're thankful for that chance that we had to be on the buzz. And ladies and gentlemen, and especially for our brethren, and I mean, this is just what we're trying to do. We're not trying to put anybody down, but we're simply just trying to set out with the example of what Jesus said that it is that His people are supposed to be doing. In Matthew chapter 5, when Jesus references or teaches to those that will be in His kingdom, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt that has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted, is there henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot. Ye are the light of the world, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now, the call that came in at the very end of that segment with the buzz, I mean, I know he's being sarcastic, but he ended up, making a very truthful statement. Well, let's just get rid of all these churches. That's absolutely right. Let's get rid of all these denominations so that we can just have the Church of Christ here, and the Church of Christ will be doing this very thing. We're on the news. We're on there with Charles. We're letting the people know about it Sunday night. Now tonight, we are going to try to do what we can tomorrow to try to make sure that our influence is being felt in accordance with what God's Word is. And just to give you another Bible example of what that, the sarcastic man saying and it actually being truthful, is very similar to what the Jews said to Pilate when they were discussing about Jesus. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us and on our children. Now they said that with a demeaning tone, in that they're saying, yeah, let His blood literally be on us. We're wanting Him to die. But then once He dies and is buried and resurrected, what is it that they're actually needing? They're needing His blood to be on them so that they can have their sins removed. So, Mr. Sarcastic Man, let's just get rid of all these churches. That's absolutely right. If you got rid of all these denominations, all these different divisions, just the empathy, and he has it too. What's he saying about us? Well, you got your work cut out for you. Well, at least we're doing something. While he's sitting at home, all he does is call into the buzz. What is he doing? He's not doing anything. And what's worse, none of these preachers are involved in doing anything either. So like you said, let's just get rid of them. Had a brother in Georgia, he sent me a text and he said that he was listening to Caleb's broadcast on Sunday night and he decided that he would start emailing different churches around in this area. Now, he's not even in our area. He's in Georgia. And hearing this information, he took it upon himself that, I'm going to email these different churches. And he said so far he's only gotten one back from Compassion Church, which is actually from the headquarter Compassion Church, not the Danville Compassion Church. But in reading what the head office of Compassion Church said, I do not have much confidence in the Danville branch of Compassion Church. They wrote to him and said, thanks for reaching out to us. In response to your message, this is the main information email for all Compassion locations, so it would be difficult for us to say anything concerning Compassion Danville in the Danville area since we are not there locally. I don't know exactly what the brother's email said to Compassion Church, excuse me, but how difficult is it to make a comment about whether or not there needs to be a casino in Danville, Virginia? According to what the Bible says, that's pretty straightforward. Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, that you do unto others, you have them do unto you. Like Caleb presented on Sunday night, I'm not wanting somebody to come along and take my hard-earned money, and I'm not wanting to, just give it away. But here's the other side of the response. However, generally, we try not to get involved in areas where we cannot help make real changes. If that's the mindset of your church, then just like Sarcastic Man said, get rid of it. It's not doing any good. Basically, what you have is you have churches in this area playing the same hustle that these casinos are. Now, what is it that the casinos say? Just come, just one more dollar, one more quarter, and you might win it big. What is it that these churches are saying? Well, just come and plant your seed here, and God might give you in return. It's the same scheme. It's the same game. And thus, these individuals, Compassion Church, they're saying, we're not really seeing where we can make real changes here. To make real changes in the economic setup of Danville, Virginia, the moral setup, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure in Danville I have seen where there's a billboard about children going hungry in the city of Danville. If it's not just the city of Danville, it might be throughout the United States. Getting rid of a casino, you don't think that would help put food into the refrigerators of these families? That's not going to be real change. And we also understand that God is the only one who can change the hearts of men. If that's your mentality, then why do you even exist? The very principle, the very passage that we read just a moment ago, Matthew chapter 5, 13 through 16, puts responsibility on us. We are the salt that is to cure, that is to purify, and that is to preserve. We are the light that is to shine in this world. What are these other churches doing? Oh, they're just all huddled up together. We can't really do anything. Oh, but we're trusting God. No, you're not. If you're not actually out doing, actually out helping, actually doing what it is that God says that servants and laborers are supposed to be doing, you're not doing any good. And that goes for my own brethren as well. I appreciate the brother in Georgia taking the incentive that he's basically saying, hey, I'm going to help these brethren out. I can send emails, but this is what all churches of Christ are needing to be doing in their community. They need to be standing up, standing out, shouting out against these immoral things. Salt of the earth, light of the world. If you're not salting and you're not shining, it's good for nothing. And it's not that hard. All you're needing to do is just be in tune with what's actually going on in the community. I can remember back when 50 Shades was, coming up here to Hollywood, and Caleb and I were up here doing interviews, asking people, you going to see 50 Shades? Where do you go to church? And other brethren throughout the brotherhood are finding that on YouTube and Facebook. They're saying, wow, this is a great idea. Why didn't I think about it? Because you're not actually looking at Christianity per what the Bible says about it. We're supposed to be doing these type of things. Well, it might be, it might get people riled up. You heard some of the calls come in, they were pretty riled up. I can't help that with, if that's what the truth actually does. Like the, Mr. Sarcastic Man, you got your work cut out for you. Well, so did Jesus. Jesus came in and tried to change thousands of years of family tradition. He didn't let that stop him. He went ahead right on. Good evening, caller. What's the Bible say?
Hey, Micah.
Hey.
In Danville, we've already got the lottery legalized, and if people want a glimpse of what's going to happen, just go into some of these convenience stores on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. One of the points that
you see them standing there with their whole paycheck,
yep,
buying up lottery tickets,
yep,
and their kids are walking around, no clothes, nothing to eat.
Yep. So, yeah, for Compassion Church and other churches in the area to be looking at, well, what can we do? Man, there's plenty that we can do. We can stand up and fight against this. That's going to end up ruining families. We are a church that is concerned about family protection.
That's right. It'd be interesting to see tomorrow night if how many the local preachers are going to be there standing up against this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there definitely needs to be some head counting, trying to figure out who's there and who's missing. That'll be real good.
Well, it's definitely not going to help Danville.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Danville's already in bad shape now as it is.
And with that point, let me move into some of my PowerPoint of some of the stuff that I found coming out of North Carolina.
All right, it's a good program.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Danville's already in trouble. It's not going to help improve things. Notice these headlines from the News and Record. News and Record coming out of Greensboro. Look here. November 20th, 2017. Armed man robs internet sweepstakes business in Kernersville. December 18th, 2017. Armed robbers target Lucky Duck in Madison. Man wanted January 12th, 2018. So we moved from 2017 into 2018. Man wanted in Reedsville bank robbery, arrested, notice, where's he at? At Burlington Sweepstakes Parlor. These are not outstanding citizens that are being drawn to this place. In February 26, 2018, that was January. So we've gone from November to December, January. February 26, 2018, one man shot in brawl at Winston-Salem sweepstakes parlor, police say. February the 13th, 2018, police arrest second man in connection with December shooting death at sweepstakes business. So now we've got another person tacked on to something that's already happened. 3 Greensboro residents accused of stealing from Davidson County sweepstakes business March 13th, 2018. 1 shot to death, 2 hurt in Burlington sweepstakes robbery. That's April 9th, 2018. Security officer killed during robbery of sweepstakes parlor in Burlington. So that's connected to the one that's right up here. They're telling you who got killed, the security. So even those that are supposed to be protecting others, they cannot even be protected in these sweepstakes. A third person charged with murder in deadly sweepstakes robbery in Burlington. So now we've got, let's see, 3 that were in Greensboro. They had the 1 shot, 2 death. And now we're tacking on a third person who's actually involved in this. Winston-Salem sweepstakes robbed while employees tried to close the business, October the 4th. Men robbed Winston-Salem sweepstakes business, hold up customers at gunpoint, September 18th, 2018. That's not even the same one. In the same city, a different sweepstakes being held up. Once in October, the other in September. What do we think is going to happen in Danville? I mean, here's our case study right here. North Carolina has internet gambling. Who's being drawn to it? It's those that are desperate. Those that are really hurting, whether it be that they've got caught up in this cycle, and that's one of the things that this is a government-funded research study case from 2001 where they studied 8 different communities that they all built casinos around the same time. They looked at crime 4 years before, leading up to the time that the casino was built. Then they looked at the crime from the time the casino was built 4 years past. And in every single one, the crime rate went up. And the reason why is because, like the callers were saying, people are getting addicted to this. It's the mentality that, just one quick game, one more dollar, one more quarter, maybe I can win big. But it's a fool's dream because everybody knows the house always wins. They end up getting caught up in this cycle, and what does it lead to? They end up finding themselves in crime so as to fill a habit. Now that's right there in North Carolina. Like I said on the buzz, almost once a month, in which actually in October, September, so it's still different months, but still the same town. Winston-Salem got hit twice at their sweepstakes. And that's the place to be. That's good things going on there. So now let's notice this. Let's have a clip here. Let's see, right here. And I know we're moving fast, but we're at that point. We're just getting it towards the end, running out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence for this, as I mentioned on the buzz, people look at Las Vegas. Las Vegas is not the norm. Las Vegas is the exception to the rule. But even with Las Vegas and the supposed success that they have, who would want to live in Las Vegas? On the very fact that Las Vegas has the title of Sin City, oh yeah, that's what we want to model ourselves after. The city of churches is now wanting to be like Sin City. Let's get us a casino. You don't see the contradiction in that? But notice here, we're laying out evidences this evening. This is Frank Nero. He's the former county commissioner or city commissioner of Atlantic City. Notice what he has to say about when casinos first came into Atlantic City. We'll play this clip, and if the caller will hold on, we'll play this clip, and then we'll come to the caller.
Then the casinos moved in. Desperate, Atlantic City opened its doors.
Atlantic City became bankrupt, if not officially, then practically speaking. It had almost nothing going for it in terms of economic activity. And it was what I think the casino industry seizes upon, which is desperate.
The whole idea was these casinos were going to come in and revitalize this dying seaside town. People were gullible and they fell for it.
This casino is now open.
I was supportive of casino gambling in Atlantic City because I felt it could provide a catalyst to revitalize this once great resort area in the state of New Jersey. If I knew then what I know now, clearly I would not have supported it. When I look back at what happened, or more accurately did not happen, the promises never came to fruition. The revitalization of Atlantic City never came. I mean, if you go to Atlantic City today and you walk a couple of blocks off the boardwalk, you still see the same decay, and even worse than when this was approved, over 30 years ago.
When casinos first came to Atlantic City, I think people were super excited there. The business owners, the merchants, everybody's all geared up. Wow, these casinos are going to bring all these people in. It's going to be a big boom for all of us. It didn't take a whole lot of time to figure this out, that it was actually hurting their businesses. The casinos are masters at sucking the people in and keeping them there and then sending them home.
Before long, 40% of Atlantic City restaurants and a third of its local retailers had gone out of business. Far from curing Atlantic City's economic woes, casino gambling made them worse.
Former county commissioner. He was there when the casinos first came. If I knew now, or if I knew then what I know now, would not have let them in. They make big promises, and the promises never come through. Good evening, caller. You want the Bible say?
Yes, sir. I was just calling in, kind of wanted to give the viewers there an idea. I run a business in Eden, and I have seen firsthand at what the sweepstakes has done to us here in Eden.
Mm-hmm.
We started out having just, maybe 2, maybe 3, and I think now we have 9 in the city of Eden. And I've had 3 customers in the last couple months that have had to cancel their appointments that they've had with me to take and, fix their vehicles or whatever because of they don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
I says, well, you just made this appointment like 2 days ago. And I was like, well, and they flat out said, well, I spent my money, sweepstakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's going to be a casino coming to Danville, well, what they're trying to make happen in Danville, we're going to build up this city. Well, what are you going to be doing to Reedsville? What are you going to be doing to Eden?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to be doing to everybody around here? You're going to be hurting the small business person in Rockingham County. You're going to be hurting the small business person in Henry County. And not only that, you think about these churches that say, well, we can help these people here and this and that. You're going to be having the food banks that are going to be giving food to people who spent their money playing sweepstakes.
Right. Yeah, people.
You're going to have children at Christmas time. They're not going to have their gifts. And if you look right there on 14 at the one across from the flea market, there was a lot of people there even up until Christmas Eve.
Mm.
And you think, Mommy and Daddy's not here because they're playing sweepstakes. They're gambling in a casino. Okay, the churches are going to have to take more money from their little funds or whatever they have put aside to help the Angel Tree children and all these other things. So is it helping anybody at all?
Well,
I would say the answer is no.
Well, definitely not. And you being in the city of Eden and being a business owner there, have you seen any help, from the revenue from these sweepstakes? Anything coming your way?
The only thing that I've seen is people breaking into stuff. I mean, if you look at, I've done a couple door glasses from people busting into cars. Now paper on Wednesday and Sunday, it is an entire page of mostly what you see is you're seeing drugs and you're seeing people breaking in, stealing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, have you seen anything? Well, the only thing that I can see is maybe people, breaking into cars, destroying cars, trying to steal people's property. And, you see people all the time that are just, people are getting into arguments. I mean, I do work on people's cars where they busted out glasses and stuff like that due to domestic disputes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many of that is due to people arguing over, well, honey, I spent my paycheck on on sweepstakes and gambling.
Yeah. Well, when I was asking if you'd seen anything else, I was referencing any tax breaks or any money coming your way because of what the sweepstakes is, supposedly bringing in.
No, actually, the city of Eden did away with a privilege license, saying that they were going to help small businesses, and then they put they eliminated a $15 fee and actually put a $20 business registration fee, and they put a $15 Eden vehicle fee just because I own a vehicle inside the city limits, and they put $15 per vehicle. So, no, I haven't seen any kind of tax bracket break at all.
But you've actually seen fees go up.
Everything's going up. Our
Yeah.
water bill, my last water bill, I think was like $70-some. I have another house over on Greenwood Street, and it's like $40-some, and there's like, maybe 100, 200 gallons used there. Not there much, but I don't get no break on that.
Right. Well, with that, one of the things I did notice in the Chatham paper quote from the mayor, one of the things he ended up mentioning was, he's looking at this and he's saying, we're going to get all this revenue, which Caleb discussed that Sunday night, and all that is pie in the sky. I mean, there's no way what they're actually presenting is going to come into fruition. But he made a statement in the paper, and I mean, it came across kind of iffy to me that he ends up mentioning the fact that we're looking at this casino because we do not want to increase taxes on our citizens. For him to say that, it's almost as if you don't, it's going to come down to a vote of the people. If you don't vote for the casino, then we're going to have to up your taxes. So it's kind of like, well, what are we supposed to do then? Either way. And, from what we're seeing in Eden with the sweepstakes, you're living in Eden and things are still, the taxes are still going up, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're getting a tax increase actually in 2019 with our regular property tax, and not only do we pay a county tax, but we pay a city tax, and the city property tax is almost as much as my county tax, and I mean, there is no breaks at all from the city of Eden. I mean, I will say that taxes have gone up, our water bills have gone up, and there is actually a lot of people that I know that have moved out of Eden because of the tax situation and the crime situation. I mean, the crime rate it is ridiculous over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, we're right here at 9:56. I appreciate the call from Eden. That helps, very well with what we're showing with the news and record. I thank you for that.
All right. Well, I just hope that some of that could help the people see, man, this ain't good.
Yeah, for
Ain't
sure.
Good for anybody.
Okay. Hey, we appreciate the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good night. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're presenting this is so that, like we mentioned on the buzz, so that more people can get involved. Mr. Sarcastic Man, well, buddy, you got your work cut out for you. Not if we get some more people with us. And the things that they're discussing in the city of Danville is going to be involving a 50-mile radius. Into Bassett, that's going to be, how far away is Lynchburg? Is it within a 50-mile radius? Yeah. So Lynchburg is going to be in that. Eden, Reedsville, Greensboro is going to be, fairly close to that. It's not just the city of Danville that they need to be considering about. And even let's look at this as we go down to the last little bit here. Notice here. Here's a segment where they're trying to get casinos into Florida, and it's all a scam about getting something for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot get something for nothing. Everything has a cost. Notice this.
Malaysian casino conglomerate Genting plans to build the largest casino in the world in Miami. It would have more gambling under one roof than 6 of the largest casinos on the Vegas Strip combined. To sell their deal, the industry is making promises that the taxpayers of Atlantic City would find very familiar.
The industry was sort of back here again in the state of Florida. And It was almost exactly word for word for some of the same kind of promises and presentation I had heard 30 years ago.
That is Frank Nero, former city commissioner of Atlantic City, and he's saying when he's hearing the pitch from these guys down in Miami, Florida, it is almost word for what they were telling him 30 years ago. See, the game doesn't change. It's the same process.
In New Jersey. I mean, it was insulting.
When big casinos return to Florida, the push is led by Nevada's Las Vegas Sands and Malaysia's Genting. The goal: restructure Florida's regulatory system to make way for mega casinos, remaking Florida in the image of Vegas. The timing was no coincidence. Still reeling from the Great Recession, the Sunshine State was hungry for revenue and desperate for jobs.
We need all jobs, any jobs.
They come at us when we're down, when we're weak, when the economy is bad. They try and lure our elected officials and our voters with the promise of more jobs and bountiful government revenue.
Every time I've seen some major movement in trying to do some expansion, it usually happens in the environment where they're trying to balance the budget. And suddenly, this submarine comes up from underwater of how I can solve all your problems. And you can get something for nothing. That's a false promise.
This industry is to create 100,000 jobs. 70% will be minorities and women. We will guarantee half the seats of non-stop flights and charters from Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific, Europe, the export market. We're talking of 4 to 6 million visitors. I guarantee you there'll be 10 Global Express flying non-stop to Shanghai, Beijing, and to Hong Kong, okay? Every day. 50, 100,000 jobs, up to 1.7 billion for the state, maximize benefits for everybody. I think everyone is a winner in this game.
It's an industry that makes its living.
Are you hearing those promises? I guarantee this, I guarantee this, I guarantee this. He can't guarantee that. And neither can these individuals, this company that's coming into Danville, Virginia, trying to make all these promises, this is what will happen. No, ladies and gentlemen. They make these promises, they draw you in with get-rich-quick schemes, and they leave with money in the bag. We appreciate you tuning in this evening. We're at 10 o'clock. Make sure you tune in to our other programs, Sunday night, 9 p.m., Thursday night, 8 p.m. We appreciate very much the calls that came in, people that are assisting us so far. Reach out to the City Council in Danville. If you're not liking this, send them an email, let them know. Thank you very much for watching. Always ask for, what does the Bible say?